which Cameron will show up today.
First leg, it's Ian to throw first.
First things first, Murph.
Game on.
They both got the memo. They shop at the same shop.
Yeah, it was a time in darts when there used to be a kit clash rule.
Yep. If you had the same shirt or the same coloured shirt as your opponent, it would be down to the tournament director to say who could wear that colour, and usually it was the person who was higher ranked.
Yeah, so the whippet would have had to whip it off and change for a different colour.
100.
Well, there is Fallon Sherrick, one of the leading ladies in world darts, and Cameron's
60.
leading lady.
It's nice to see her here, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, she opted to withdraw
83.
from the women's tournament, but is here to support Cameron today.
It's going to be a good game, this. I love watching Cameron play because he doesn't mess around and he's got an amazing level of ability. I've seen him average
100.
in three figures many, many times. And if you're troubling the likes of Rahman and Van Gerwen and others in 2022, we have to take note. And he's looking for a performance on this stage that will give him confidence up there. Single 20 for tops for the first leg.
38.
Just above the bar, and Jones is in position 41 to nick it away.
And this is what he did against David Cameron, didn't he? Waited for opportunities, was making sure he was there to make the most of them, but unlikely to make the most of this one. He's made a mess of it so far. Can bail himself out on double 10.
21. Cameron, you require 40.
Fancy he's not coming back.
Game
and
shot.
That
and
is
the first
a
leg,
picture
Cameron
postcard
Menzies.
of a double top.
Second leg, it's Cameron to throw first. Game on.
Do you think that Fallon Sherrick has had an influence on his game? Because Scott Mitchell was saying on the stage with Lindsay that maybe he has changed mentality-wise in the last couple of years. But from a standard perspective, can you see any changes?
Well, I think that remains to be seen. He's certainly got a decent practice partner and a motivation to practice. I've heard interviews with Cameron saying that it's often Fallon
60
who's initiating the practice sessions rather than him. But the point that I would make, Paul, as he looks to fill it up here,
140.
Is that you mentioned the ton plus averages. He's had several of them, but he's never managed one on TV. And he does need a performance.
You're right, because the last time he was here, when he was beaten by Conan Whitehead, I remember that game because Cameron was highly fancied in that game. But we have to heap praise on Conan Whitehead as we look at the bull. He decided not to go for it. He's a bit flashy sometimes, Cameron, so we're not sure. But when he was here last time against Conan, Conan played really well.
40.
And that was arguably Conan's best performance on this stage.
Cameron, you require 40.
To double his lead.
Game shot, and
it's
the
all
second
going very
leg,
well.
Cameron Menzies.
For Cameron Menzies so far, the fan club are happy.
Third leg, it's
and
Ian
so
to
is
throw
he.
first.
I'm trying to say there's only 2 members of the Cameron Menzies fan club. I'm sure there's more than that.
There's 4 on the table, Paul. Keep up.
All right.
Yeah, and the other side of it as well, I'm sure, you know, Fallon Sherrick's made great waves in the world of darts and is arguably the most famous darts player worldwide.
30.
But this today is about Cameron, isn't it?
Yes, I think we have to emphasise that as well. The opportunity
57.
of being here first and foremost for Cameron, because he is a PDC Tour card holder, did very well at Q School earlier this year. He's here to pick up a big check
100.
and to pick up a trophy and then return to the PDC Tour and have more success there. But we can't forget about Ian Jones as well. He's been around a very long time.
23.
Finally got his first win a few days ago. And now, you have to say it, being up against the 14th seed, that Ian can play without pressure now, because we've already talked about Cameron for 2 straight legs. Everybody else is talking about Cameron.
60.
And we can't neglect the fact that Ian Jones has got a genuine shot of winning this game if he can take advantage of the misses of Cammy.
Yeah, victory
98.
for Jones. would probably need to come in the same manner as it did when he beat David Cameron, who really did fluff his lines at the end of that match. He had 12 darts from 80 to win the game.
Yeah, that can't be ignored, unfortunately. You've got to take care of that. But Ian's looking to do the Cameron double, isn't he? The David Cameron Menzies double.
180.
Well, that just turns this leg on its head. The first match from Menzies. And now Jones has to hope that Cammy can't take out
Cameron, you
the
require
81.
81.
Might just do on double 12. What a guide. What a leg. What a performance in set one.
Cameron Menzies.
Magical stuff from Menzies so far. He races through the opening.
Cameron.
First leg, it's Cameron to throw first. Game on.
Cameron throwing an average of 32 per single dart is pretty routine for him. There you can see 95.94 for the first set. But there is another level to be found if he needs it. But if he does maintain that 96 average, I feel he's going to be
55.
too strong for the whipper today.
And if he is too strong for Jones, he will take on either
43.
Wayne Warren or Lee Shewan in the last 16.
I think Wayne Warren's going to have plenty of support, you know,
94.
judging by the amount of Welsh support that Rhian O'Sullivan had last night.
We haven't seen much of the wacky side
100.
of Cameron Menzies as Wolfie fulfills. I was going to say from the fans, but was that John Desramos taking a picture of it?
That was Killer B taking the photos.
The player's still in the tournament, taking a photo of a player out of the tournament.
134.
Welcome to the Lakeside.
Yeah, I was going to say, we haven't seen the kind of wacky characteristics of Cameron so far, but a match between him and Wayne Warren could be very,
60.
very animated on that stage, couldn't it?
Yeah, very much so. If this is your first time watching Cameron Menzies and you think, well, what's really that wacky about him? You don't know. He's got an affectionate nickname amongst us darting hips, as we call him, Mad Cammy. Because when he gets in a certain mood, he's just an annoyance to the opponent and amazing to watch.
135.
The darts from
Cameron, you
Ian Jones
80.
there, but Menzies is now looking at 15 ball. That for double 10. Almost
70.
takes it.
Ian, you require 57.
Well, these are the opportunities that Jones simply has to take himself. Double 10, Menzies missed it.
Game
Jones hits
short
it.
on the first leg. Ian Jones.
He takes the opening leg.
Second leg, it's Ian to
against
throw
the darts.
first. Game on.
A nice little show of respect there from Cammy. But when you get up there at this stage of the tournament and beyond, it's nice to show
60.
respect, Murph, but you've got to stay in a bit of a zone and think that this guy's in your way. You've got to get rid of him, stop paying him respect. But is that just
121.
me, or is it the right thing to do?
Yeah, well, you know better than me.
I got most of it wrong, so that's why I'm asking you. There's Roscoe.
Raschini, certainly a respectful operator. Very happy to be here, he was.
93.
And still is. Hanging around, the first Italian ever to grace the Lakeside stage. Lost out to Ryan de Vrede,
41.
who we will see in action later on this evening against Jules van Dongen.
180.
Well, we've just had a Duffman go through with a really good performance. If this is a somewhat 1980s
83. Cameron, you require 107.
animated series type of afternoon, then maybe Cameron Menzies is the groundskeeper Willie of darts. 19 leaves 88, that leaves double 14, and that leaves nothing. Brilliantly done from Menzies.
Cameron Menzies.
It's a dozen dart leg for
Third leg
Menzies
is
to
Cameron
cancel
to
out
throw
that break of
first.
throw at the start of this set. And it's looking like comfortable Cameron so far.
41.
Haven't seen, as we were saying, much of the head shaking or head slapping stuff. But it has been just a really
96.
easy performance.
This is why we like watching Cameron, because he's not only very
96.
good, but technically he is way up there as a compact thrower who doesn't do much wrong when it comes to the mechanics of the action. Look at the straight forearm, the delivery, the lovely smooth follow through, the angle of entry in the board. It's so inviting for others to join them. That's why he's so exciting, and that's why Ian Jones has got such a handful today.
And if you're wondering why he's so fancied for the tournament, it's not just those recent wins since he finally got through qualifying school to play in the PDC. He has got some pedigree, and he's showcasing it here.
140.
Has picked up a handful of Challenge Tour titles as well as WDF ranking events. He became the first player from Scotland in 10 years to win the Scottish Open since Gary Anderson when he won it in 2017. He's thinking about going for treble 14 here.
I think that's a really sensible play. Showing a bit of good mathematics and tactics there, Menzies. Looking to go 2-1 up in the second. Everything seems to be clicking well today. A couple of times now he's stood back just to compose, and it's always the right move if you're not comfortable. Approval there from Team Menzies.
Game on.
Yeah, still keeping that high average. Looking like he could be pushing for the second highest of the tournament, but he's got gears. He could even go higher than that.
Oh, yeah. What's your thoughts maybe on an all-Scotland final between Menzies and McEwen? It's got a ring to it.
It would be an excellent final, that's for certain. But I think there are many potentially excellent finales that would certainly
100
fittingly grace the stage.
On the flip side, if Ian Jones finds his mojo in this match and Nick Fullwell has a good time of it, we could have an all West Midlands final.
140.
I mentioned Menzies earlier in the match. We mentioned that for all the good stuff he's thrown away from the TV cameras, that he's never managed to post 3 figures on TV. He is
59.
Round about that 97 mark, which is his highest ever TV average. And there you see one of the big reasons why.
45.
Absolutely clinical in finishing off legs.
He's a treble. Gets one.
94.
One of these days someone's going to hit 3 bulls, you know, Murph. It's not going to be today. We might see a 152 though. Oh, gave that every chance. That deflection was wicked, but I tell you what, that second one.
Cameron, you require 150.
Wow, that was really kind.
Well, yeah, you could see that it did deflect because the flight came off the dart.
33.
By hitting the one already in the bed.
You require 12.
But he does get the opportunity because of that brilliant setup. And Jones isn't going away just yet.
Throwing first.
Maybe he's called Whip It because he really does go quick. This is not a slow match.
140.
Magnificent Menzies at the start of this 5th leg to decide whether it's 2-0 or 1-1 in sets. And back comes Jones.
136.
Yeah, lovely pace. The players able to play their own games, not hampered by the speed of the opponent or lack of it.
83.
And that brings out the best in them.
Ordinarily, that would be more exasperation from Menzies when he hits that treble 1, but there's that flight off again. A massive collision with his second stem, but wow, what a recovery. Boing. It's a bit like Brian Roman's hair from last night. Oh, that's killer from Menzies.
I was going to say to Jones, try and do it twice, but he has done it twice in the space of a minute. But that maximum for Menzies
123
sets him up for 98.
Cameron,
this leg 98. Is to win a set. Both of them on a very small number after 9 darts. Menzies needs double 12.
86.
Set dart missed, and if Jones hits this, we've got a very different game on our hands.
Well, Cammy would have thought that that 3rd max of the match would have helped him over the line, but he now has to rely on Jones not taking this out, and a single is enough to leave the bullseye. And he gets that single. And he gets the bullseye.
And the
dead centre.
Ian Jones.
A fabulous dart from Ian Jones, applauded by Cameron Menzies, and rightly so. You cannot throw a better dart at the bullseye than that, and to do it under that pressure is quite remarkable. This is a whippet who will just not go away.
12 darter to win the set against someone who has just missed a 12 of his own. What do we see up in Geordie land? That was mint. That was proper darts. That had everybody in here off their seat. Menzies now has got someone who's more confident now than he has ever been at the Lakeside.
121.
Lost to Mark Webster back in 2008 when he went on to win the title.
43.
Yeah, Menzies' previous appearance here was a 3-1 defeat to Conan Whitehead. Does have 5 ranking titles in this system.
British Open's probably top of that list. It's got an incredible list of winners, that one.
96.
Used to be classified as a major, according to Mervyn King. He classifies it as a major win anyway, because if you
94.
look at the field that used to attend that event, wherever it was, whether it was Bridlington, Liverpool, it's been all over the place. Some of those fields were quite remarkable. I remember the first time I ever went to the British Open in Liverpool at the Adelphi Hotel. I walked into players like Ronnie Baxter, Peter Manley, John Walton, Mervyn King, Sean Greatbatch. The list goes on and on and on and on.
Sounds like half the cast for the World Seniors Masters.
There were a few young players.
66.
But that was 21 years ago.
86.
Treble 18 now for Menzies. Double 16 now for Menzies.
Game shot and the first
this
leg,
time he gives
Cameron
it a big
Menzies.
roar.
Gives it the old William Wallace.
Second leg, it's Cameron to throw first.
I'm
Game
reliably
on.
informed that today Cameron is using a Chris Dobie dart. If you don't know who Chris Dobie is, he's a player
60.
from Northumberland who was very highly fancied in the PDC system. As Nick Rolls is having to get the tweezers out to find the flight. There it is. But Cameron's using a Chris Dobie dart, and Chris has already told me today that Cammy's using them better than he is. I don't think that's true, Chris.
Well, he's not doing too badly right now. Still around that high 90s average, despite not taking
60.
that second set. Very quickly put this set in his favour, didn't he, with an immediate break of throw.
And Nick Rolls, great referee, fantastic guy. He's a local here, our referee in this match, and he wins the Tuesday game of darting operation on the stage. Just another role for the referees to adhere
60.
to. They look after the welfare of the players, get them to stick to the rules, call the scores. It's not an easy job.
Well, when we're on the subject of Nick Rolls,
98.
he's playing a big part behind the scenes with the WDF in getting tournaments up and running, along with the MC, Richard Ashdown, and many others who have worked really hard, and I think they all deserve real credit for what they've achieved.
Yeah, it's not a job that they
137.
really wanted to do 2 or 3 years ago, but they felt it was their duty when the time was right, and they've taken it upon themselves to try and get this event and others up and running. Well done to everybody.
Treble 18.
58.
Now we're going to see a bit
Cameron,
of
you
Menzies
require
magic here.
160.
60. Can't find it, so Jones will get the opportunity to break back straight away.
96. Ian, you require 48.
Double top. Tens was good last time.
28.
And he goes high again, but this
Cameron, you
time way
require
too
64.
high. Menzies for 2-0. No time to breathe here. No time to miss on tops.
24. Ian, you require 20.
For parity in sets and legs.
No score.
But Jones has faltered.
Cameron, you require 40.
A little look behind him. They're not sure what all that was about. There's been a little shout out from the crowd, but speaking of shouts, Menzies bellows one out.
Third leg, it's Ian
Years
to throw
gone by.
first. Game on.
Some players may have been sneered at for doing things like that, but it's very much the norm in the game of darts now.
You mean you were sneered at for doing things like that?
Oh, okay, I'll give you that one.
100.
More so the MVG era now. They all like to let off a bit of steam.
Yeah, some still do get unfairly criticised.
24.
Players that actually probably scream as much as others. And when they do it, it's wrong. When someone else does it, it seems to be okay.
60.
I'm all for the volume, the passion. Give me more. Feed me more.
100.
Young Luke Littler wasn't shy, was he, in
Yeah, but he's from the MVG era, isn't he? And you look at Leighton Bennett and 41. Jared Cole and...
Well, actually, Ian Jones, as the Whippet, he's kind of a rare breed, isn't he? Because he's a fast-throwing older player, and it seems to be the younger generation that are particularly picking up the pace because of the likes of MVG being their idol.
That is so true. I look back at the 80s, there weren't many fast players. Kevin Kenny was pretty zippy from Liverpool. He made the semis here.
140.
Richie Gardner, of course, a Surrey player. He was here yesterday with his son Charlie. And Richie Gardner was pretty quick.
96. Cameron, you require 137.
57. Mego tops. That was the intended route.
97. Ian, you require 119.
Treble 19 as well for Jones. He gets it. 12s now. The bullseye again. He knows where it is.
94.
This time he can't locate it.
Cameron, you require
if that had gone,
40.
Cammy was thinking, I can't get rid of this guy. The way to get rid of him is to hit tops. That's beautifully done. A great third set from Menzies to take a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, rampant stuff.
Fourth set, first leg. It's Cameron to throw first. Game on.
I'd like to say the man in blue was having it all his own way, but that is not the case because they both were in the same colour.
Well, only one will be feeling blue at the end of the match. And right now, it's looking like Ian Jones's luck may have run out. He did ride it in the first round against David Cameron, who missed 6 match starts, missed 12 starts from 80.
Do you think, Murph, that the exposure to constant play for Cameron over the last 4 months is helping him right here,
48.
as opposed to Jones, who is not known for travelling here, there and everywhere?
Possibly, yeah. I think, you know, practice
140.
certainly makes permanent, doesn't it? And I think that when players are playing all the time, particularly players who might not be that big fans of
57.
being stood on the board throwing by themselves, it can make all the difference. I'm sure you felt that in your career at times yourself.
Yeah, sometimes when you're on the road so much, playing against other
26.
people, you don't have to do much in between. I used to practice once a week in between tournaments with somebody else and then just do some honing work on a couple of other days. Just so happens that that person I practiced with on a Tuesday with Dave Chisnell, former finalist here in 2010, and usually I was left with my tail between my legs.
You require 160.
Not a bad practice partner, and we know that Menzies hasn't got a bad practice partner either. Well, he
96.
can't take out the 160.
Ian, you require
Could Jones take out the 170?
Now, what do you make of Menzies' approach to 64? Because he'd have found a single 20
Cameron,
instead of a single 16. This is a single to double combo. Now it's only 1 dart he gets for this first leg. It doesn't matter. That's just brilliant execution from Menzies. He backed himself with just the 1 dart, and that's what he finds.
Yeah, it's all he needed. Went for a preferred
83.
double. Cameron Menzies, nothing wrong with that. The performance has been absolutely exceptional. That's unfortunate for Menzies, but going into this final set, he himself had a 12-dart leg, a 13-darter, 3 16-darters and a 15 as well.
Proximity to that 60 throughout most of this match has been really promising for Menzies. This is a very comfortable 90-plus average
59.
performance for Cameron. But you and I both know, Murph, that the winner of this tournament is going to have to be really seasoned at long format darts.
48.
You've got to win 7 sets to win the tournament on Sunday. It's going to be a long slog, that. You've got to be ready to do long format stuff all the way through the week. Or is it 6 sets?
Best of 11, yeah, the final,
yeah.
Most of the time, Cameron Menzies at the minute is playing best of 11 legs.
45. Cameron, you require 62.
The whippet in the way. 15. Double 16.
46.
He likes it there.
Ian, you require 156.
I don't think Ian was up to any tricks there. I think his darts just got a little bit stuck in the board. But he can't stick them in the treble 20, so Menzies will return with 3 darts to move within 1.
Cameron, you
I don't see him missing
16.
this. Maybe a bit more doubt now. More doubt indeed. How does he hit this? He might need a magic wand.
How do you do that? Why did you say that?
Commentator's curse, right? If this goes in, it's dart of the tournament.
No score.
Oh, it nearly did go in through the dart.
56.
Tops then for Jones to level up in set 4.
Game
And
shot
there
in the
it
second
is.
leg.
Well,
Ian
Menzies
Jones. Third leg, it's
blocked
Cameron
himself
going
out of the
first.
double. And Jones walking off the wrong way there.
Referee's probably going to pull him for that. Everybody knows
42.
you're supposed to walk off to your right.
Well, maybe I was wrong. Maybe he's up to a few tricks here, the old campaigner.
You can't get away with that kind of stuff anymore.
45.
Old dog, new tricks.
I heard that wasn't possible.
We'll ask Scotty when we get him back in the
95.
commentary box, or you can ask him at the end of the show.
Might just do indeed. It depends what the result is, I guess.
He's not a player that plays any tricks, but
59.
he often is in the way, Scott. He goes at his own pace, doesn't he? Enjoys a leisurely stroll up the hockey when he retrieves his darts.
You've got to be patient when Scott's playing. He's got this
97.
almost step pattern that he has going to the back of the stage. And he's not going to change for anybody, and he's perfectly entitled to do that.
81.
I was the same. I wasn't as slow as Scott is with those strides, but I would take my time walking back.
97.
Good cover from Cameron to leave 170. Haven't had one in this tournament so far.
Yeah, the 164 from
100. Cameron,
Mike
you require
Warburton.
170.
Highest checkout of the tournament so far. Not going to be beaten on this occasion.
98.
Menzies will leave it reasonably handy.
I thought he was in a reasonably handy position in the last leg. He was Scotland.
140. Cameron, you require 72.
Shouldn't be anything in the way this time. One dart at tops.
32.
This set,
Ian, you require
this match
76.
could have been won by now.
He gets 2 darts, a double 8. He only needs
shot
1.
in the third
But all of a
leg.
sudden,
Ian Jones.
Jones is causing trouble
Fourth leg
for
is
Cameron
Ian to throw
Menzies.
first.
He takes
Game
the
on.
lead, he breaks the throw, and he has the darts to win the 4th set and force a decider.
Ian Jones is playing
83.
like a man on a freebie. He doesn't look like a player who has got much pressure on his shoulders. Menzies does not want to play another set.
180.
He's looking to sprint to the finishing line from behind.
60.
Almost Kelly Holmes style. When she was doing the 800 metres and the 1500, she'd be on the shoulder of the person in the lead with 100 to go, and then she'd find a stride.
60.
The Wolfie still loving life at the Lakeside.
Well, he's keeping his pose there. He was almost like a waxwork, wasn't he?
30.
He's been holding a smile ever since he came here in the early 90s.
Was it one of those pranks where he thought it was a photo?
96.
Oh, why has Menzies left 165? Maybe because he's got that nice buffer of about 160 points. It's going to be eaten into.
1.
Not enough for Jones. So maybe 133 here for Menzies down south. Another one of those and a single will be lovely. Oh, not the double.
152.
Nick Rolls working it out and informing Cameron Menzies that he's left 13, and that's often unlucky for some.
100.
Will it be a downfall here?
Cameron, you
On the bright
require
side.
13.
He's now got double 4 and 2 at it.
5.
Now.
Ian, you require
Jones finds this.
128.
We're looking at a match that's very similar to what we saw at the end of last night's session. 60 in bull. Menzies now has 3 more to take us to the 1
55.
leg decider in
Cameron,
set
you
4.
require 8.
Can Cammy take back control?
Game
Cammy
shot
can.
on the 4th leg.
Then everybody's going to know about it.
5th leg is Cameron to
2-2,
throw
and
first.
Menzies has the darts
Game on.
in the deciding leg of this 4th set.
That's where I don't mind that, you know. You may at home think, oh, why is he being so vocal?
134.
He's obviously got some tension in his body. The right thing there, when he hits the double 4, let it out.
Yeah, well, Ian Jones is
85.
proving to be a bit of a nuisance, isn't he, in this match? Remember, Menzies has won 2 of the sets. by 3 legs to 0. But the one that went the distance was won by Jones when he produced that excellent 12-dart leg.
97.
Taking out 122 on the bullseye.
Treble 19 at the end of that second visit of the leg.
81.
That was just greeted with an, oh yeah, Duffman.
Well, he's a confident man, isn't he? He said he'd win 3-0. He did win 3-0. I asked him about his next match. He said he'd win that as well. I'll speak to you after that one, Chris.
60.
Maybe he just likes talking to you.
Well, that makes 1.
That makes only 1 treble, which gives Menzies a really good shout of winning this match at this leg. That helps. 140 would be lovely. But a 134 is just as good.
Menzies coming back then.
140.
That he should get a dart to win the match, but he has been pressurised there by Jones.
Cameron, you require
Can't get rid of him.
76.
The only way to get rid of him, Cameron, is to hit this match dart at double 12.
52.
He didn't expect to be going for double 12 either.
I'll tell you what, once again, Menzies had to reset there. Ian Jones does seem to have slowed down a bit when he's retrieving his darts. Is he using a bit of the dark arts here, Paul?
89 with 2, and he must hit this to keep this match alive. It may not matter. Let's see what Ian does when he gets his darts this time, because Menzies has now got 3 darts for the match to win by 3 sets to 1.
Cameron, you require 24.
He's out of the way. And he's out of the tournament.
Shot.
Menzies marches on.
Cameron Menzies.
Through to the last 16 goes Cameron Menzies. He whips the whippet with a 3.